Hey everybody, Candace here with Be You, Be Your Own You. Our mission is to empower girls of all ages to love themselves exactly for who they are and celebrate the differences that make them unique. Yes, honey, you are unique, you are worthy, and you are beautiful. So welcome to our Inspirational Interview Series designed to inspire, motivate, and change lives. We're interviewing anyone and everyone who has a story or message to share because you have a voice. Let me repeat that. You have a voice, and we want to share it. Together, we can inspire and empower. So welcome and be empowered. So today's interview is with a lovely woman. I am super excited the day is finally here that I have the chance and opportunity to interview her and, of course, to share it all with you guys. She is truly changing the world for us girls and women. Like, it's just amazing. She has a TV show. She's building this community for all of us to come together, to collaborate, and also just so we know that our dreams can come true. So enough of me talking. Let's get to the real good stuff. Without further ado, please welcome the lovely Janine.
Hi, Candace. So glad to be speaking with you.
Yes, I'm super excited. I'm excited for the viewers to find out who you are and what you do and your passion is. And
Well,
you're in
I'm
New
excited
York.
to tell them.
Oh, yeah. You're in New York, correct?
Yes, right here in the heart of Manhattan.
Wow. What's the weather like?
It's actually beautiful today.
Yeah.
It's almost as nice as La Jolla, but not quite.
I think my parents are actually there. My mom has been sending me pictures all day, and it seems beautiful.
Oh, it's great. I walked around a lot. It was gorgeous today.
Aw, love it.
One of those days you have to be grateful for.
Yeah. Oh gosh, whenever right now in San Diego, it's 75 degrees, sunny out, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm grateful. I'm super humbled to be living here.
Well, I mean, as you know, I was born there, and when we moved east, my mother cried every day.
Oh my God.
When she moved east because every day was not 75 and gorgeous like it is in San Diego.
I remember you saying that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Sharp Hospital.
Yep.
So.
And I remember I was telling you I was born there.
Yeah, so we have something in common. You know?
Yep. So we're going to hop right to it. Before I get into my questions, can you explain to the viewers who you are and what you do?
Okay. My name is Janine Shao Collins. I am the co-founder and CEO of Girl Starter, which is a media and entertainment brand and technology brand that our mission is to empower the next generation of female business owners and leaders.
That's awesome. So what gave you that, what made you want to start this? What was the passion behind it?
Well, for a long time, before I became an entrepreneur, a full-time entrepreneur in 2016, I was a corporate executive at a media company called Meredith Corporation. And I managed a lot of brands such as More Magazine, Better Homes and Gardens, Parents, Fitness, whatnot. But female empowerment has always been a personal passion of mine, not only because I was helping create and monetize editorial that had to do with, empowering women, but also from a personal standpoint, as a female executive, I think it's just very important to support women. And so it's always been a personal passion. But the genesis of Girl Starter, I cannot take credit for. It really started with my daughter, who is 20. And when she was 16 in 2014, she came home after going to a panel called The Upside of Risk, where everybody, and it was the time where Sheryl Sandberg's book had just come out and everybody was talking about leaning in. And they were talking about how women were naturally more risk adverse than men. And Julia came home and said, I can't take the whining anymore. I've been to too many panels where people just complain about the situation between men and women in the workplace. And I think that the solution is not talking to women of your generation. The solution is talking to young women when they're more moldable, so they learn how important it is to take risks. And you live that.
Yeah. Wow. Your daughter just sounds amazing though. At 16, already was able to be conscious of that.
Oh yeah. Well, she's a girl starter like you.
Yeah.
And I said to her, you're absolutely right. And she said, Mom, I want to start a club at my school. And she went to a very small all-girls school on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. I said, well, if you really want to change something, you have to reach more than those 55 girls in your all-girls school, which is a very lucky school, very privileged school. I said, and you need to reach girls who may not have the same opportunities that you've been afforded or been able to see. You need to reach the girl in, the middle of Montana who may not know what different jobs are available to them. So I had read a statistic that a large portion of young people, I think the statistic was 97% or something like that, expect or plan on being famous.
Wow.
Use entertainment as a way to expose to the possibilities. So the very next day, my daughter, myself, and my husband started writing a treatment for a show.
Wow.
And we brought in our community to help us, and voila, now we have Girl Starter.
Wow, what a go-getting story though. Like, you know what? Like, here's this idea, let's go after it. That in itself is an amazing story.
Yeah, well, I think, I was very excited about it and somewhat naive. I didn't really understand, because I was a corporate executive for so long, the journey of entrepreneurship. So I've learned along the way, as I built this, about entrepreneurship, and want to be able to help people who maybe don't have the same access I have to people to help me to have that same access.
Yeah. Can you give us, so for people who have not seen the show Girl Starter, can you explain a little summary of it, or like?
Sure. Well, it's a reality show. Think of a mashup between Shark Tank, The Apprentice, and American Idol. So we brought 8 girls from all walks of life. They're very different educationally, socioeconomically, geographically, and racially. And for instance, we had one girl who's actually going on to go to Harvard Business School, and we had one girl who never completed high school and got her GED.
Wow.
So those 8 girls came on the show, and they competed for $100,000 worth of seed money and services. And what we focus on is early phase business building, how to get an idea out of your head to something tangible so that you can pitch for your first round of funding. And because so many young people had told us, young women, before we embarked on this, when we did focus groups, said, I have a lot of ideas, I just don't know how to get started. And so that's how the name Girl Starter started. Just get started. But Girl Starter is also anyone who is supporting or believes in empowering women and girls, and that includes men. So anyone who is for the advancement of women and girls is a Girl Starter.
I love it. So you sent me 2 links to watch 2 of the episodes, and I watched them. And it's so funny because I was like, oh, this reminds me of The Apprentice. And because there was challenges that the girls had to do to, either win a prize, and then like Shark Tank, they had to present their idea. So I loved it. And I loved how it was like reality. So you saw some of the girls, they were upset about something, or, they're stressed, but then you have this team comes in to help them grow and be like, okay, well, we love your idea, but let's alter it. And I loved how real it was, because for me as a viewer, I was like, oh, I didn't know that. Or it's like, oh, wow, like, this is interesting.
That makes me so happy.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm telling you guys. I'm super excited to be interviewing you and sharing this, because I'm like, every girl needs to see the show, because it is like Shark Tank and The Apprentice, but it's like, you don't really see, that many girls on the show. You do, but not all coming together as one, and, empowering.
Well, you're very perceptive, because we wanted to show the drama for the show came from building the business. But the girls were actually very supportive of each other.
Yeah.
It really made me happy, because I didn't want it to be a cat fight.
Yeah.
Like a typical reality show where the girls fight over a guy, or, and they're backbiting. That was not, the drama really came from building the business. And we all know, anyone who's been in business knows that, business can be stressful, and there are times where you're going to have to power through. One of our lines is power on and power through. So that's what we're trying to help people do. Yeah. And the other thing that's really great is that you noticed, Shark Tank, a lot of the women said to us early, how do you even get to the point where you can pitch on Shark Tank? So when you're pitching on Shark Tank, you have proof of concept, you have a product. A lot of people wanted to know, how do you even get going? How do you get started? So that's really what we tried to do. And we made it really fun. We had really great challenges. I think you saw the Vera Bradley challenge where they were working on creating a bag, which they did. They did this with the founder, Barbara Bradley, and they actually sold them on the internet, and they sold out within 24 hours. Incredible, at $300 a bag. So, you know, they had these great experiences building and manufacturing products. They had other challenges that related to leadership, mentorship, you know, all these different things. And they had a lot of fun learning the principles of entrepreneurship.
Yeah. Two things. So that purse episode, I'm not joking, it brought me to tears because at the end, she had to pick one of the purses to, you know, be sold. And then next thing you know, she picked both of the purses, and you're seeing the girls, they're like, what, are you serious? Are you know, and then seeing them design this purse and then it comes to real life, you get to see it. I'm like, wow. I was like, oh my gosh, in awe. And the other thing about the drama comment you made, that was so true. The drama wasn't between the girls. It was just between the stressful, you know, situations that they had to push through, which I love because at one point in the first episode you sent me, there was just two teams and one of them won the challenge and the other team didn't. And they were they're like, good job congratulating them, which I loved. I'm like, wow, way to support each other, even though you didn't win and you wanted to win.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely drama. I mean, you know, the girls didn't agree all the time on all the time in this. But really, you know, it wasn't like the typical backbiting over a guy or an outfit or something, you know, that we've seen in other types of reality shows. So I was happy about that. It was really about, you know, typical stresses that happen to everybody when they're building a business.
Yeah. So is there going to be more seasons?
Well, we're working on season 2 right now. But before we actually go on air, we're very excited that we're building a digital platform that is going to be a more robust destination than what girlstarter.com is right now. It's basically going to provide tools and mentorship and inspiration so that whether you're on the show or not, you can still have access to mentorship and the tools of learning in order to start your own businesses. So we're in the process of putting that plan together, raising money to support that so we can go on air for season 2, which we're already talking to Al Roker Entertainment and our other friends about what that's going to look like. So that's a long-winded answer to say yes.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. I love that because I will say I grew up, my dad's an entrepreneur, so I did grow up with the exposure of you have a dream, you can go after it. But I'm in that position where it's like, where do I start? You know, even though I have this help, but where do I start? And that's why I started this interview series. But I have friends who come to me and they're like, Candace, I want to start a blog or I want to do this. Like, how do I start? You know, of course I want to help and I do what I can to help, but it would be so nice for there to be a platform out there to be like, hey, go here and, you know, let that guide you.
That's exactly what we want to do, is create a larger community for girls who may not be as lucky as you. Or a father that can help you, but also to make it bigger. So let's say you want to, you know, connect with someone in a different city or a different country. We want people to be able to share ideas that way because that's where the magic happens. The magic happens when people collaborate. So that's basically, we're trying to build this big Girl Starter community. And then in the end, we also would love, because we know that less than 3% of all women's venture gets funded from venture capital. We want to be able to build a pipeline so that investors can also identify businesses that young women start, so their portfolio is more diverse.
Wow, that's awesome. I'm already excited for it.
Right. And we want it to be fun.
Yes.
One of the things is that, you know, we use the word, although edutainment, you know, education, entertainment. And we think that, you know, learning how to do this should be inspiring, aspirational. We want to have mentors and promote all these young women, but we want it to be something that they want to do all the time and they get excited about, because that's when the best work happens.
Yeah. I just went to an event with 500 women, my first all-girl event. And as I'm starting to talk with these women and kind of collaborate and connect, I find out that we're all the same, that we all kind of have the same mission. Like we want to empower, support another. And I was like, wow, I was like, there are so many of us girls out there who we either don't feel we can use our voice, or we're told we're not supposed to. So I think that's super cool. It's like, hey, let's all get together, because we all go through the same stuff at the end of the day.
Yeah, the power in numbers, right?
Yep.
I love that. It's really exciting. I think, the world is having a girl power moment, or female empowerment moment, which is very exciting. One of the other things, because we all know what's going on with Me Too and Time's Up and all that, Girls sort of wants to be the solution where we can shine a light on both the men and women that are doing the right thing for women and girls, because there's so much news about what's going wrong and how people are treating each other badly. I want to have a venue where we're celebrating the people who are doing the right thing.
Yeah, I love that. And that's what BU is all about as well. That's why people come to me like, oh, I don't like social media because of this and that. And I'm like, well, social media is also great because we get to spread love and put good out into the world.
Right, exactly. Well, the second we got on the phone together, we had totally aligned missions. I knew you were a super girl starter from the second we got on the phone together. And just look at your side. Believe in yourself. I mean, that's really what we try to inspire as well. Have the courage to get started. Believe in yourself so that you can, go for your dreams.
Yeah, I love it. So really quick, I want to go back to your daughter. What does your daughter do?
Well, my daughter is in college, so she's still in school. And she interned for us. She was the genesis of all this, and she interned for us the first summer between freshman and sophomore year. But then she kindly said after it was done, I think I need to get work experience not working for you, Mom, because it feels like when you ask me to do something, you're asking me to clean my room. So, and I think that's important too. So this summer, she's actually working in corporate to get that experience, working as an intern at Accenture. So that's what she's doing this summer.
Oh, wow. I'll have to interview her next because
she's great. Yeah. You're two peas in a pod.
I know. I already know it.
Yeah, she's a lot of fun. And she was the one who saw this. She saw that, girls needed a community to get together.
Yeah.
Inspiring them to do the things that they dream of.
Yeah, no, that's an amazing heart right there. So I'm like, oh, I love hearing that. Because I'm like, oh my gosh, there are so many of us out there. And I know we all have this, like, generally, we kind of have the same passion as us girls. That's why I'm like, oh, I love this, because this community is so big, but we don't have that community.
Right.
It's coming.
It is coming. And, and I also think that the tools that are out there to help women when they first get into the workforce aren't tailored enough to this generation or to young women. So we want to change that. Yeah,
I think it's not tailored, or there's entries and it's like, oh, you're not where you need to be in this, like, kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but I just think, I'm thinking of friends, and I know if what you're saying, it's like, oh no, I can't be in that group, or I'm not that level yet.
Well, yeah, and that's why we focus on early phase business building, because we want anyone to feel that they can do it. Yeah, anyone. She said, you guys, anyone can do it. Anyone. I love that little story about your daughter. How, like, when you ask me to do something, I feel like I'm cleaning your room. I work for my dad, so we kind of butt heads a lot, but in a good way. Like, I love him. I'm in his office, and sometimes he'll be like, why do you listen to them and not me? And I'm like, well, I don't know. It's just different. But we definitely have built that foundation. So that's why I'm like, okay, I'm going to take over BU. Well, I think, it's the same type of thing. Look, my daughter and I are incredibly close, almost too close sometimes. And, we're very similar. So, eventually she could definitely come back. But she wants to have that independent experience right now. Yeah, no, that's what I'm doing that right now. I'm still with him, but that's why I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this interview series. And yes, he's helped. He's like, he connected us, but I'm like, okay, I can do without you, Dad. Like, Well, but you're very lucky because he seems to be giving you the space to be able
Oh,
to do
yeah.
it.
He has been, which has been amazing. Because before,
Yeah.
you know, he's kind of in my office, and now he's like, okay, I'm going to let you take the reins over. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I have the vision, Dad. Don't worry. So I'm trying to, you know, let him know. But he's also there to be supportive and help me.
Yeah, it sounds very, we definitely have to do, like, you know, if you're ever in New York, a group dinner.
Definitely.
You know, very similar.
I know he's already gone 2 times in this past month. So I'm like, next time I'm coming.
Okay,
You're
good.
gonna come see Janine.
Oh, perfect. I love it.
Yes.
Love it. Love it.
So
Well,
to wrap this up, well, is there anything that I missed?
Well, I mean, obviously, we're really excited about the show, our second season.
Yeah.
We hope it's going to be filled with very colorful entrepreneurs, celebrities, great challenges, more girls. On the platform, we're going to have all those tools and mentors, and we're hope to be able to do casting on our platform.
Oh, wow.
So when that happens. So I'll let you know when we're in the process of getting it built, but I'll let you know when it's live so that all your friends can, if they want to, you know, be so bold as to try out for the show, that they can come on girlstarter.com. And then I would say that the other part is you know, and I know you liked going to events. We're hoping to have Girl Starter installments, a number of events and partners throughout the country. So young people like you can experience Girl Starter live.
Yeah. That's definitely something we're going to talk about and do if we can do something together, because I think that'd be amazing.
Yeah, because events are very important.
Yes. And I love when we first talked, you're like, we have a voice, you have a voice.
Right.
So definitely. It's like, let's use it. So do you have any advice for any young women who are watching this who are like, oh, I do want to be an entrepreneur, or I do have this passion to do something?
Well, even if you're not totally sure you want to be an entrepreneur, but you're just curious, I would just try it. I mean, you have nothing to lose. And if you don't like it, you know, you'll learn something from that experience. So I think, you know, we believe that girls have to see it to start it. And what we're hoping by watching these great interviews that you're doing, that inspires someone to start something, whether it's small or large, just, you know, have fun.
Yep, have fun. So another question, because I just thought of it. I watched a YouTube video of you, and you talked about failure. So how do you feel about failure, and what advice can you give about that?
Well, failure is a necessity. It's never fun, but it's totally a necessity. It's just part of the journey, and you have to look at failure as a place to grow. And my mother said, first grow out of the dirt. So sometimes you have to hit the dirt or the bottom in order for something beautiful to sprout. And I think that really, whether we like it or not, our greatest growth happens when we fail. So you have to give yourself permission to make mistakes, do the wrong thing, because it's just part of the process. And, you know, you can look back and say, wow, I really learned a lot from that. Not so much fun when you're going through it, but you have to know and have grit and confidence that it's all going to work out.
Yeah, I love that. And I think when you accept failure, like when you're like, okay, I'm in this, I know I'm kind of going through it. If you accept it, it's going to be okay. And you're going to know, what can I gain out of this?
Right. And to not beat yourself up too much about it.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think a lot of people avoid failure because, you know, it makes them feel terrible about themselves. But if you tell yourself, you know, this is, it doesn't mean a bad person or a bad worker or that, you know, all those horrible other things that you say in your mind, but you just say, look, this is just my journey and this is how I'm meant to learn. And I'm a big believer in fate too. So that's part of it as well. But so when you talk to yourself in that voice, when you're having those tough moments, I think it's important to remind yourself that, you know, people don't learn without a certain level of struggle and pain.
I love that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I like how you said we give ourselves permission. I like that.
Yeah, totally. Well, I think girls or women in particular are very hard on themselves. You know, most of the people that I know, you know, spend a lot of time lamenting about their mistakes and ruminating. And that's not necessarily helpful.
Nope. I was just telling my boyfriend, I was like, we were talking about something and he was afraid to do something. And I was like, what's the worst that can happen?
Exactly.
And it was like, I forget what it was, but I know the answer was no. I'm like, the worst that can happen is you get no. You're still alive. You're still kicking.
Right.
You learned from it.
Exactly. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's very few things in life that are totally irreparable.
Yeah.
You know, and so you should be willing to take those risks.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah,
So
well,
I hope.
thank
What was
you.
that?
Thank you, and thank you
Oh.
for being a Girl Starter. You're just a joy.
Oh, thank you. No, I'm so excited. You said fate, and I'm like, well, I believe in fate because this was fate.
Yeah.
Us connecting, and I just know good things are coming.
Yeah, and you know, look, I believe, you know, you're spreading positivity, and as good things happen to people who try to do that. So I believe that you get what you give. So
yes,
good things are in store. I want more girls to be like you.
Oh, I love it. Thank you.
Good. It's so good. So now you have to tell everybody. So when I get this, how can they find you?
How can they find me?
Yeah, and your YouTube channel.
Yes. Well, of course, we are on Be Your Own You, but I do have my own personal channel. I'm trying to grow that up as well. So it's your girl Candy, because my nickname's Candy. So whenever I open up my videos, I'm like, what's up? It's your girl Candy. So I'll actually put the links below, guys. Thank you for asking.
Good, because I'm going to spread this around, and I'm going to spread it to other people, and I know that people that I know are going to want to find you.
Oh, yeah. So Be Your Own You and It's Your Girl Candy. That's both of the channels that I work and promote for.
Great. I love it.
Yes. So my last question for you then is how can I and how can the BU community support you?
Well, first, anyone can reach out to me at any time at Janine@girlstarter.com because I love talking to girl starters or wannabe girl starters, and that what I would love to do is be able to keep everybody posted about what we're building and the tools that we're putting together. So eventually, when they're talking to me, I'm going to tell them how to come be part of our community.
That's awesome. So I'm going to share that link, and then I'm going to find your Instagram link, your Twitter link.
Yes, perfect.
And I'll put those below too. So follow her, show her love, support her, because amazing things are in the works, you guys, just like she was talking about. So if you follow her, you will stay updated. And she gave you an open door. So if you're a girl starter yourself, reach out to her. Take advantage of this.
Definitely. And I will say, when we're in filming, we'll have, even if people aren't on the show, we want people to come and visit us. So, keep in touch.
Awesome. Yes. Well, guys, be your own you and love yourself first.
I love it.